It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you so much for making time for us. We are now shifting our focus into the international stage, and we've just watched Bafana Bafana against Lesotho out in Polokwane and Peter Mokaba Stadium, the newly manicured Peter Mokaba Stadium, which is a beautiful, beautiful pitch, complemented by a beautiful crowd attendance there from the people in Limpopo, in Polokwane, and also people from outside the province who also made the trip to go to the Peter Mokaba Stadium. We salute you. What a beautiful, beautiful view it was to see you there at representing South Africa at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. The most important thing is the scoreline. Bafana Bafana winning this game by 2-0. Goals coming from Relebohile Mofokeng and Jaden Adams in the second half of the game. And I have to say that as beautiful as it looked, together with the goals that were scored, we also have to be cautious of the goals that were not scored, because we created so many chances, especially in the first half. And I think had we capitalized on our chances in the first half, this game could have ended actually in the first half. Otherwise, it's important that we got the 3 points, which puts us on top of Group C. We are now in charge, in command of that Group C. Remember, you have to win your group in order to qualify for the 2026 World Cup out in America, Mexico, and also Canada. So it's very important that South Africa keep on winning. Our next game is against Benin out in Benin. It's an away game. The reason why I'm saying we have to be cautious is because I don't think out in Benin we are going to create as many chances as we did here. It's probably going to be a very hostile environment. Remember, these Western African countries, they take this very serious. I think it's going to be a very, very, very hostile situation out in Benin. And usually when things are like that, you are not going to get as many chances as we got today. So I think Bafana have to make sure that we better our chances on the next game. Otherwise, it looks promising for Hugo Bruce's boys. The project looks very, very promising. I think if we are going to stand an even better chance, we have to make sure that against Benin we do not lose. That's one of the most important things. If we don't lose against Benin, we get our 3 points, then we probably need to win the other 3 games, depending on what happens with the other teams, the likes of Rwanda, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. Yes, it will also be important, if we don't win, to try and not lose that particular game. Get a point at least, so that we come back to South Africa still in charge and in command of that Group C, and make sure that in the next games we try to capitalize. And I think that if we win against Benin, the next qualifying games will be in September and October. I think if we win against Benin, that will put us in a very good position, and because now it will mean that we by the time we play Nigeria, which is, I think, it's going to be a bigger challenge than the other teams. No offense to the other teams. We're not trying to belittle any team, but I'm just saying that the game against Nigeria is going to be a very big game, and it will be played in South Africa. It's going to be a home game for South Africa. But if we beat Benin and we beat Lesotho, because those are the 2 games between now and the game against Nigeria, we should go to the game against Nigeria without too much pressure, because if we collect these 6 points, by the time we play Nigeria, we'll still be on top of that group, and depending on what happens with Nigeria and the other teams, we might find ourselves needing less points to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. That's why I'm saying it looks very, very promising. It's going to be a very difficult task for us to beat Benin in Benin. So if we don't beat them, let's try and get a point at least. But I think we are capable of beating them. It's just that we need to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes that we made in the first half. In the first half, there were many chances that Bafana could have buried the game in the first half, and allowed the coach to play with other players into the second half as well. Make a few changes here and there to make sure that we give other players a chance as well. But otherwise, it is important that we won. In Benin, we won't get as many chances, I think. So if we get that one chance, we need to bury that one chance, and we need to be very solid at the back and make sure that we don't allow them any space to try and penetrate. So it's looking promising. It's looking really promising. I would really love to see this South African team into the 2026 World Cup, especially after so many years of not qualifying for the World Cup. It will be very, very nice to see Bafana in the World Cup. It will be refreshing. I mean, the last time we saw Bafana play World Cup was here in South Africa, which we qualified by virtue of hosting. So we struggled to qualify for the World Cup. So right now it's looking promising. That's why I'm saying with the chance that the opportunity, if the opportunity presents itself, to make sure that we capitalize, let's try by all means to make sure that we find ourselves going to America in 2026 for the World Cup. Otherwise, this has been Fans Corner. Thank you so much, guys, for making time for us. We'll be back with the game against Benin, South Africa versus Benin. Hopefully we win that one. We'll be back on the next one. Let us know your thoughts on the comment section, and please make sure you like the video and also subscribe on the channel. We meet again in the next one.